Sumeru's festival has been repeating itself. So, you think the sages are behind this?
Yeah, they've always been against us. Wouldn't surprise me if they're using the Akasha to intentionally repeat the Sabzeruz festival as a sick joke.
You have a point. Aside from the Dendro Archon, the Academia's sages are the only ones in Sumeru who could pull off something like this. Maybe there's more to the Akasha than we know. Right! Didn't you awaken our memories using something that looked like a knowledge capsule? That means
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire...
a gnosis could do that? No wonder the Akasha is so magical. It's being powered by the gnosis of Sumeru's Archon.
So, this Nahida you mentioned.
She said, and Paimon quotes, "The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power."
Compiles the wisdom of the entire populace and grants knowledge to the people. Wait. I get the grants knowledge part. That's what people have always used the Akasha for. But compiling the entire populace is...
Did she mean that the sages enter new knowledge into the Akasha? Oh, yeah. That sounds about right. What do you...
Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it... That doesn't sound right. My mind feels exhausted. Even...
You mean the Akasha is causing our mental fatigue? When the desert dwellers set off on their quest for knowledge, a sage once said, compiling the entire country's knowledge. You think the Akasha pulled a 180 and is extracting information from us? Who knows? The Akasha can put knowledge into our heads, so who's to say that it can't also poke around?
What's the point of doing something like that?
Just think about it. If you could combine the knowledge of every single person in Sumeru, then you can basically turn Sumeru City into a single mass. This hive mind could make breakthroughs in problems that even the smartest geniuses can't crack.
An excellent deduction. And the analogy comparing Sumeru City to a massive brain?
In that case, we should take off our Akasha terminals right away. Maybe that'll solve this problem.
Yeah, I was only wearing this for show in the first place. Didn't expect the sages to cook up such a conspiracy. Mark my words, when the...
How does everyone feel? Huh? What is it? Oh, that! Paimon knows what you're talking about. It's a single soft beep that sounds like it's coming from the Akasha.
The sound of a beep. Could it be a prompt tone for when the Akasha is operating?
That's probably an important clue. We weren't using our terminals, but we heard a beep anyway. Traveler, did you...
I heard it too. Our ears aren't messing with us. There was definitely a beep. But it sounded... We took off our Akasha terminals.
Phase runtime has exceeded its expected length. At this rate, but we cannot...
Paimon remembers
Good. You adapted quickly this time.
We definitely took off our Akasha terminals last night, but we still heard that beep. Why is that? But now we can at least confirm one thing. Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. Why would the Akasha go this far if all it wants is
It's extremely extremely difficult for lab rats in an experiment to understand why they're being...
If we're lab rats, then what are you? Nahida, you've never told us anything about yourself.
I guess I'm the moon.
The moon? Wasn't that the result of our divination?
Anyway, knowing who I am won't help you get closer to the truth, so you should focus on other things. Don't get distracted and miss it.
Okay then. Dia helped us a lot yesterday, so let's go find her.
Ah, there you are. I've already taken care of those kidnappers. My lady, did you get hurt? What's wrong? Why are you both gawking?
You didn't get hurt this time.
Huh? What do you mean this time? Why are you so surprised that I managed to get out unscathed? Those kids were amateurs. Shh! How did you know about my greatsword? I haven't told anyone about it.
So Dia's lost her memories after all.
Anything strange? You already know that I got a new greatsword. If I had to say something, it's as if I've already used it to fight a countless...
You're saying that although you don't remember using it, your body feels like it?
That's right. Both mercenaries and warriors heavily rely on muscle memory. Only knowing the theory of battle won't...
Traveler, what do you think? Yeah, Paimon's feeling really hopeful. Oh, you're right! Earlier in the Samsara, something like this would have never happened.
I have no clue what you two are talking...
So you want us to take Dunyarzad somewhere else to rest while you check if there are still more kidnappers around, right?
How did you know what I was gonna say?
Forget it. Go and do your thing. Whew. It's finally nighttime. Aside from Dia not getting injured, everything seems to have stayed... Listen, Nahida, we found out that Dia got out just fine today, even though she got injured every... Do you think the Samsara has been broken? Have we saved Dunyarzad?
Really? Good job on all that progress.
Hey, what kind of an answer?
Tomorrow will come. Everyone assumes this is common knowledge, but the only way you can know that for sure... How many todays has it been? Is it possible that today will be followed by yesterday? It's even possible that this entire world is a lie, and the history of the whole world has just been...
Okay, no more. Paimon's brain is...
That's why it makes no sense to waste your energy. Get some good rest. You know, use the bathroom and...
Huh? Hold on, what did...
Huh? People always say they feel a sense of relief after they take a duk-duk.
It's so strange and so against common sense that... Paimon's at a loss for words. You were saying... Yeah. Even though it's happy and lively at the Sabzeruz festival every day, it feels...
Continue the harvest. Compared to what we stand to achieve, these sacrifices...
We're still in the same day! Nahida, you already knew last night that we didn't break out of the Samsara?
Would there have been a point? You would have spent the night with new worries, with tomorrow still out of reach. In that case, you might as well rest within that brief moment of hope. An opportunity like that doesn't...
Paimon's at the Duke did that!
Of course. In the time we've been together...
Paimon's flattered and everything, but maybe you're...
What I mean is, even though I had asked you to solve this puzzle, you two are still the only ones who can see me and sense my presence. In other words, if you weren't here, I may as well not exist. That's why you two have been everything to me.
Nahida's talking about confusing stuff again.
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. So, Traveler, Did the new clues yesterday help you gain a new understanding of the situation?
Huh? Why are you scrapping your previous theory? Oh, yeah! You're right! Gosh, how did we not notice that?
So, what's your new hypo-
Mercenaries rely heavily on muscle memory, and Dia was able to use her If all our memories of a day are erased at the end of that...
Oh! Then the beep we hear every night could just be indicating the deletion of our... That's why, when we wake up, everyone thinks the sabzeruz festival hasn't happened yet. It's already the next day, but muscle memory can't be erased. That's why Dia has been getting better at using her greatsword. Now everything makes...
A brilliant deduction.
Nahida, tell us if we're right or wrong.
To put it simply, it's as if you've mistaken a pyro crystal fly for a firefly in the night. You lost sight of its true nature because you focused too much on your perception that it glows.
That isn't simple at all.
Why don't you go talk to Miss Dia again? You might learn something new.
Right. She did help us find our latest clue after all.
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Dia also didn't get hurt today.
Get hurt? Why would I? Don't underestimate.
Well, you're still getting used to your new greatsword.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar and...
Traveler, could you explain the situation to her today? Paimon's gotten a little... Oh, that works.
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed by some cult?
Don't think too hard about it. Just take what we're saying at face value.
All right then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this great sword, but my brain just doesn't remember it?
Yes, your memory's being erased.
Then I'd have to disagree. That's impossible.
Oh? Why do you think that?
If we've actually been reliving the sabzeruz festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used? The money we spent, the food we... Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that.
Right. They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that day, and then use the city's resource. It's not very likely, but it's also not...
No, it is impossible.
You have proof? Where?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Come with me. Miss Dunyarzad? Please come along as well. I still can't guarantee...
Paimon can't believe it's Dia who wants to show us something this time. 2 days ago, we were the ones taking her to see Dunyarzad.
This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden training dummy. What?
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of practice. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces?
That's true, but what if...
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training session. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always the force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy. It's just as they say. Each swordsman has their own unique style. and even the same swordsman can't make the same.
Is it really impossible? What if they use...
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has no speed. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? It's surprising. Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. But at least we've reached some... Yep, that's true. So, can we think of any new... Strange? Paimon feels like everything's been strange lately. Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange how we never thought of such a... Paimon can't believe it! Did we miss this because we're tunnel visioning too hard on our other theories? Or because we're just too... How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something about leaving...
Early today. Did you find something?
Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop. And we also aren't in the real world. But at the same time, we have...
Leaving the city. As far as I remember, if...
We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after we talked about those plans?
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was, but you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it.
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll already be the next day.
Really? That's kinda strange. In theory, I should have all...
Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Let's get... Our memories are back! About that...
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our sabzeruz festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days' worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay, let's go!
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a direct order from the Grand...
I have a real emergency. My goods have already arrived at Port Ormos. If I don't hurry, they'll be stolen.
That's your problem. Make sure you make a request in advance next time.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced a lockdown for Sumeru City today. How completely Let's go and question them. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave the city today?
Here we go again. Don't ask me. I don't know either. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. They didn't tell us anything else. Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that kind of insider info, I would have left this stupid post long ago.
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get anything out of him, let's take matters into our own hands. Why don't we climb over the walls? Those guards can't be... This is a good spot, and the guard hasn't noticed us at all. Let's hurry! Huh? Why? Are you going... But... What if things get really weird out there? Oh, Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but... We've already... Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon as possible. Just a quick look. And please... be careful. Memories! Traveler! Paimon would never see you again! Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you were only taking a quick...
Paimon, calm down. He's here now. I don't think he understood what you were saying.
Paimon doesn't care! Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! Okay. Paimon will forgive you. The most important thing is that you didn't actually disappear. Oh, Paimon was so scared that you had gone into another world!
Okay. Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really happened yesterday? I see. Using two people's different perspectives.
After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you disappeared in an instant. No way! Paimon was watching you with the fullest attention.
What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city. Those days...
So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big outside of the city is being hidden on purpose. But this way, we'll also never discover what's outside. Something like a message? But how can we
don't look at me like that. I'm not used to be... well...
Yep! Now we're talking!
I'm done. Here you go.
What? Isn't this just an
You made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending
To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the best.
Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to...
We'll never know until we try. At least we're taking the initiative now. Let's go then. Let's expose those sages. All right. Paimon isn't as worried about being separated. Okay. See, that covers everything that's happened so far.
Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive...
Okay, now that you understand what's going on...
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sabzeruz festival in Sumeru City is just one of them. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set foot outside of the walls. But everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable.
There's another part here. I only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Why did the message end right there? What did the traveler want to say?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here?
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said even the final space has also
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep. Was that space actually the real world? But wouldn't a real space just randomly disappear? All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common: a lack of human presence. That doesn't sound right. I need to carefully think things through. That doesn't sound right.
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Paimon's head is spinning.
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of... So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end...
Wow, the Archon War, huh? Hey! Do you want some alone time to think? All right then, Paimon.
The dance of Sabzeruz is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know! Oh, wait, no. Let's...
You're back! I've been waiting forever for you to... Are you ready to take your Sabzeruz exam? And... Okay. First off...
People in Sumeru don't... The moon, illusions. That doesn't sound right. Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate. That doesn't sound right. I need to carefully... We've already experienced... That doesn't... We've already experienced... We've already experienced... We've already experienced... All the bizarre... Those space... We are all in a dream.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after...
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is... The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate.
That doesn't sound right.
It is the manifestation of the god of wit.
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the... But is stealing everyone's dreams really...
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most apt. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of
So in other words, the complete opposite... Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions. And the fact that no one... The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own...
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
We've already experienced the Sabzeruz festival many times, and that doesn't sound right. Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared. The Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content." That doesn't sound right. The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still... My mind feels exhausted, even though I haven't done too much thinking. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound... That doesn't sound right. Those dreamscapes kept Those dreamscapes kept... That doesn't sound right. We've already experienced... My mind feels... The Grand Sage said...
correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sabzeruz. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sabzeruz festival. The dream...
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is...
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an
Okay, so that beep we...
Alright, last question. Who am I?
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions hinting at the sage's deception of Sumeru's people? That doesn't sound right.
So you noticed. I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just did... Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to... It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have. You asked me this question before. My answer was, now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sabzeruz. Secondly, you're probably wondering why That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the... So whenever they wake up in this dream of the...
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia Forest.
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element. Meanwhile, everyone else has deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. After we end the Sabzeruz festival, Samsara...
How can the sages of the Academia
In the end, I'm just the moon.
A sun and a moon? Oh, we're out of time today!
I'll tell you how to break free of the Samsara tomorrow.
Nahida? Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead Hey! What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look...
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other Dunyarzad?
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her, so another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just...
But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad.
Puppets are stiff, and can't copy a living person's vitality. You know, speaking of which... The old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet.
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness. And it was you who inspired her.
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still... far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sabzeruz festival with so many—
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone.
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real archons are still allowed to be sad.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara.
Great, but...
Although the Sabzeruz festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to— That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we—
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must— Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change—
Imagination?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal, like when the server at the tavern brings a plate to you. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for an... And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. As for me...
Out of town? Are you going to that place?
Yes. I want to try something. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic.
Paimon's still a little upset. She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate, yeah. Saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time. But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this dream? Feels like... Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on their So, who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, is a symbol of the whole sabzeruz. Let's go ask him some...
You're back. You left in a hurry last time.
Everything's fine, just... It's a little hard to explain.
An experiment? That came out of nowhere.
Could you... make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sabzeruz festival
Less questions! More wishing!
Okay. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone. She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle and kind, and all the I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Ferris Knight of Flowers is because I'm
So, you have a crush on Dunyarzad?
Oh, is it that obvious? When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to... What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers. Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off. Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh, you're...
What?
Fucky? Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda candies per person. Back home you... Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her...
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy. It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her. But none of them has any idea.
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps and... Huh? But Dia can handle them! Hey, Traveler!
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... Fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Why are you so worked up anyway? Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself some backup. Suit yourself.
That's close enough.
Illusion shattered!
Today.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! One with nature.
That's close enough.
Into the wind.
I'm going in!
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of her, Paimon just remembered something. Remember how during the first sabzeruz festival, before the samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably... This is the place! It's rude to enter other people's spaces without permission, but... Hey! The windows are unlocked! Okay, Paimon's gonna take a... This was only a temporary residence, so there was Should we open it? Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like she was always thinking, even though she was also busy preparing for the sabzeruz festival. And she must have wanted to give this to us as a... If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off to?
Time to go.
It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, We've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's dance of sabzeruz.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regret.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
Time to go.
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into... The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency.
Oh.
Traveler? You don't have to get involved. He's a sage from the academia.
Traveler?
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Patisaras went...
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Patisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Patisaras? Just like the ones from the legend? I didn't even notice.
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of...
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh? You guys are acting weird. But okay, I'll try... Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host. What a surprise! Purple Patisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on... It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assumed there will be food on a plate, and Nilu assumed there would be real Patisaras in the flower pots. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu? But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware. How should we make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding to our celebration of the subs-
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a...
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City.
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City. And
so, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of...
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can. The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sabzeruz.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest time. Paimon's head feels super heavy. Real Paimon thinks it was after the Sabzeruz Fest. Have we finally escaped from the Sabzeruz Samsara? Quick, take off your Akasha terminal. She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What you...
Time to go.
Well done, Traveler and Paimon. And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sabzeruz festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad!
Traveler Paimon, I have something amazing to tell you. I just had a dream, and I saw Nilu performing the dance.
You. Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the sabzeruz festival. And Dunyarzad, did you save her?
It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the Traveler's favorite?
Time to go. Time to go.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's...
After we parted on the last day of the Sabzeruz festival, among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if...
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you say...
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious. And dream...
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said war...
Yeah! So you do know! We've been...
It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left... As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria.
A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago?
Okay, so what does the message...
I still haven't managed to decipher it. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul.
So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tighnari also said that But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about...
The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like... No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other facts. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Teyvat's. There's never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line. I wonder what caused them to go down this path, and what they hope to, even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange. If the traveler hadn't broken the I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. I think they're
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Tighnari to join some kind of...
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives. Make things right. You mean how the Akasha stops you from
Yeah, it's been such a long time.
No, it's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection? The sage has convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Even if the truth is that with their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the... Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used... Anyway, the perspective advocate by now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams. Got it! I hope we answered... To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. The Akasha won't be able to conduct another project.
Go and get some sleep. Leave everything? What a relief.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We happened to walk by, so we thought...
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel some...